This is so damn stupid it hurts. This is a mistake that 95% of people are making, and if we continue to make this mistake, it's going to cost us tens of thousands of dollars of potential gains. Right now, it couldn't be easier to be holding and buying the right crypto coins, but I see people selling the wrong ones, I see people holding on to the wrong bags, and it's really painful. I'm going to explain to you this very straightforward chart, and I'm going to explain exactly why this chart is so important to shortcut the system and find profitable coins over and over again. Hit that like button. Let's get into this very important video. Now, there's a reason I wanted to make this video. A lot of times I say things on videos and people say, oh, you're a hypocrite. You said the complete opposite the other day. And I want to clear that up right now because there's obviously information there that I failed to give you. Now, let's look at this chart. As you can see, this is the total market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I just want to talk about something that's very, very straightforward and something that you can use and apply to your charts to understand that I was not being hypocritical when it all makes perfect sense, or at least I think it does. Now, as you can see, every bull market and bear market is made up of 4 cycles. The red one, the yellow one, the purple one, and the green one. Very straightforward, right? The green one, obviously, is our bull market. The red one is a bear market. The yellow one is a accumulation zone. And then the purple one is a bit of like disbelief zone. And if you refer to the Wall Street cheat sheet, you'll understand that disbelief basically comes before a bull market where half the people are still there going, oh, we have just topped out, we're going to go lower, and half the other people are like, oh, we're going to go to the moon, and no one's really sure exactly. That's pretty much where I see us right now, although I have kind of drawn us in a bull market on this, but forget about that. Now, on this video the other day, I talked about a handful of coins that were failing to perform, and one of those coins was, guess what? XDC, a coin that last summer I was kind of interested in, until this basically happened. And this was around the ISO 2022 stuff that everyone was getting really hyped and excited about and caused a pump in a number of different coins. It was also when XRP basically won their court case, which is weird because the XRP army is still hanging on for that winning of the court case that's apparently going to send them to the moon. But notice at the top what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go through your accumulation zone, you're going to go into the disbelief zone, you might have some good pullbacks within that zone, whatever, but at no point within this do you pull back into the accumulation zone, because if that happens, then you're going to find a coin that is less likely to have a strong bull run. XDC, as you can see, pushed very aggressively up towards this zone. It then sold off, it failed to accumulate in disbelief, and it dropped to lows we haven't seen since the accumulation zone. Let's take a look at XLM. Basically the same stuff is happening. It can't break beyond this disbelief zone, it runs back into the accumulation down below, and XRP exactly the same. Now, I don't know what catalyst you're waiting for to drive these products forward, but I'm going to be honest, I personally don't think it's going to happen because they are failing to get out of this zone. And when I made that video, I made the error of putting ICP on the thumbnail and everyone absolutely crapped their pants that I was saying that ICP didn't have a chance of going higher, but I was just throwing random coins onto a thumbnail because I was talking about crypto. Don't get too upset about that. This is ICP, and maybe I'm going to make the wildest dreams of the ICP Moon Boys come true right now. So you can see the accumulation phase for ICP was somewhere down here, with the top of it around $8. As you can see right now, ICP is basically correcting back down towards this kind of area here. But that's completely different from the XRPs, etc. of this world. Because right now, ICP is still well above this zone. It would need to come down at least another sort of 30, 32% and not bounce in that zone to be considered the same as the others. And it's the disbelief zone that gives us pretty much the best entries for cryptos, because we can already identify coins that have already seen pumps, that are already getting driven by certain catalysts. So there's a very big difference right now between coins like ICP and the coins like XLM, XRP, XDC. And this is why we should pay attention to this pattern, because AIOZ is basically further down this process than other coins have been. You see accumulation phase, disbelief phase, bull market, okay? And AIOZ probably having a mid-market pullback, as we've seen, started to accumulate again, looking very strong. It relies on the AI narrative, which if we're all honest with ourselves, is going to be the narrative to watch. But I want you to be cautious of something else. A lot of the coins I've been talking about more recently have been slightly newer coins, and due to the fact that Bitcoin's pulling back, newer coins tend to suffer a bit. Okay, and this is where the difference comes in. When I told you before in the past that you shouldn't take money from underperforming coins and put it into overperforming coins, I stand by that. I'm not saying that you take your money out of XRP, XDC and whatever and move it into coins like AIOZ that have already been rocketing towards the upside, because that would be dumb, despite the fact I think AIOZ does have decent amount of upside to come. And there's a lot of new coins that have incredible potential. They're in the right narratives, and whether they be in AI, whether they be in DeepIn, whether they be in BRC20 and other areas of the market like that. And it's these particular coins that are seeing big pullbacks that I'm seeing people in the group saying, oh, I've been getting out of this because it's underperforming against other coins, which makes me think, oh, well, they're probably selling the likes of BVM, BFI, and buying into AIOZ. That's not what I meant when I said I was getting out of those other coins. And I want to start by giving you this example. This is SEI, okay, say, whatever you want to call it. And this is basically what happened when it launched. It pulled back, something like 90%, and eventually it started to build strength again. We then saw the same happening with SUI, significant strength from the launch, pulls back around 80%, just over 80%. Eventually it finds a bottom, and then guess what? It then sort of starts to rally higher. Therefore, lots of people were probably selling this bottom down here, only to go and wake up and get absolutely destroyed by the 500-600% pump that came just weeks after. And basically, if Bitcoin suddenly finds a bottom, the coins that you will see pumping more aggressively early are the top quality early launch coins that have already seen all of this kind of sell-off happen, find a base, and then get moving again. So there's a very big difference between old coins that just aren't gaining the attention that many people think that they deserve, and coins within trending narratives that are just seeing a bit of a sell-off because they're early on in their life cycle. And that's coins like BVM. I've already explained in recent videos like this one I made about BVM, TON, and a few others, why BRC20 and Layer 2s built on Bitcoin could be potentially the future, bearing in mind this is an institutional Bitcoin-driven bull market that's going to rely on the Bitcoin network going forward. BVM finds itself, therefore, back into this buy zone. Last time it was in buy zone, in 3 days, it went up 78%, and I saw people in the free Telegram, which is linked down below in the description, being like, can I get into BVM? Is it too late? They didn't know what to do. They all aped in. Even though when it was down in the green box, I saw most of them being like, oh, it's kind of underperforming against other coins like AIOZ. I'm going to sell it. I'm pretty confident that with BVM, you're going to see something like this once the market heats up again. Here, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. In 8 days, BVM went up 185%. Over the following week or so, it went up 226%. And this is why, in these kind of zones, I am still buying, okay? So yes, you have to move around and change your portfolio to be able to understand what's performing and what's not performing. You have to understand why something is not performing versus something else. And look, here's the other example, okay? Pangolin. I talked about Pangolin on my channel multiple times since we were all the way down here. There was a guy on the live stream the other day who said he'd made $500,000 off of Pangolin from that call and was starting to take profits up here, like basically you should be doing. Meanwhile, most people out there are asking, should I be getting in right here? It drops to this perfect buy zone, and then you tend to sell it and you go and buy something else, which really pains me. Look at it. You just draw these buy zones and eventually you will see a bounce. We see one bounce here. First bounce, Pangolin does 77%. It comes back down. Second bounce, it has like, a few up and downs. Eventually it drops down. It comes back up 66% in 4 days. So no matter how painful it might be in some of those kind of earlier phase coins, and you might have gotten a bit early or, whatever, eventually the bull market will resume and these coins will see the recovery first. And if you're thinking, well, I want to get into AI coins, but AI coins are high, that's fine. You can go and find buy zones like Fetch AI here has one that kind of runs across this kind of sideways action. Eventually it'll pull back into this zone. Eventually you can see it starts to wick out. Things look good for Fetch AI. Delysium, I drew this on the other day and you can see that it was bouncing a couple of times, still then kind of failed. And if it gets back into this zone, then I'm happy to continue buying. And this is where the biggest mistakes are made. If you're new to this game, then you're probably still holding onto a bunch of bags that someone told you to buy last year, thinking, that this is going to make me money because of this sunk cost fallacy, which is a big problem. You need to understand that there are coins, older coins from the last bull market, that are just failing to get out that accumulation zone. If you're holding those, personally, I'll be looking to maybe downsize and maybe then use those funds to move into other coins that are also seeing significant pullbacks into zones like this, that are still well above their accumulation zones. So it's not selling from the ones that are massively down into ones that are massively up. It's selling from ones that are down, will probably never see more than a 2 or 3x, into coins that are down that will probably see a 2 or 3x as soon as Bitcoin pumps again. And as we look back at the Bitcoin chart, I can't help but feel more and more bullish. We've had kind of recent bounces in these zones here. I do believe the absolute bottom for Bitcoin in the shorter term is somewhere around 55k. Although I do think that we have kind of broken below here. We're now retesting the zone and it would make sense to me to see a continuation towards the upside. As soon as that happened, you are going to kick yourself like crazy for selling the coins that have been dumping into the coins that have been pumping, because those coins that have been pumping will start to experience sell-offs as people will start to take profits sooner. And hey, if this is wrong and we're not actually going to go higher and instead we're going to go lower, have in mind the buy zone areas that we think we're going to bounce at. This green one, you can see on the 4 hours, was fairly easy to find in that we had a bit of sideways action on Bitcoin, before we saw that kind of pump towards the upside, we can draw a box across the sideways action, and then we know that when we get down into there, it's a good opportunity to be buying again. Set an alert, play a game with yourself of buying into the lower zones, and hopefully those decent coins in the right narrative that are already outside of their accumulation zones and maybe just going through a bit of disbelief will be able to sink down low enough to give us the best price to be able to ape in at. Now guys, if you're trying to buy coins like BVM and others and you're not sure where to go because you don't want to use KYC or you don't want to use a VPN, then I use Bitunix, link down below in the description. Also, I've got a special deal with Bitunix that all the coins I talk about on daily videos will get listed on their website. So if you want a go-to exchange that you can use no matter where you live in the world, Bitunix, which is linked down below. Not only that, but they're also going to be running competitions within our communities and also delivering airdrops to viewers that are subscribing through my link down below for various different tokens that are getting put on all the time. I'm trying to get another 5 to 10 coins listed this week, so let me know down below in the comments which coins you want me to list on Bitunix, and I will get that sorted as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I know it's boring in crypto at the moment. Stick with it, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow in another video. Bye-bye.